Bienvenidos nuevamente al canal de Carloncho el día de hoy con un nuevo video saliendo acá desde Singapur hacia Yakarta. Denme un segundo que me faltó setear algo acá para variar, siempre se me olvida algo. Me tengo que hacer una checklist así para no cortar, para no olvidarme de las cosas que tengo que hacer. Bueno, ahí ya estamos ya con la información, entonces esto later. Ok, bueno, les decía desde Yakarta hacia, perdón, desde Singapur hacia Yakarta, Indonesia, en un tiempo de vuelo que vamos a tener aproximadamente de 1 hora con 27 minutos. Tiempo de nivel de vuelo 350. Lo invito nuevamente a seguirme y a disfrutar de este streaming con nosotros y con los amigos de Flights in Chile. Hello guys, how you doing? Carlos here, in a new flight in this world tour that we are doing with the friends of Flights in Chile, all the way from Singapore to Jakarta, Indonesia. Flight time is going to be 1 hour and 27 minutes, and we're going to be cruising at flight level 350. So please join me in this streaming, guys, and thank you very much every single time for your support. Zanahoria, hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Todo bien? So we're going to start with the basket stuff. So we're going to go with the inertial data. We are going to put the left one, center, and right on nav. Emergency lights are going to be connected. We're going to check the oil quantity. It is 20, 21, 21, 21, which is perfect. Status, we check for any problem that we have. Nothing is there. So we're good to go. Parking brake is set, and yeah, that's it. I think it's some ATC here, so let me check. Yeah, we have Kuala, we have Lumpur radar, and we have Jakarta, but nothing here. So let's hear for the ATs, and we'll see which one is going to be our departure.
Sierra, airport information, Foxtrot 1530, Zulu, weather, wind 040 at 3, visibility 10,000, sky clear, temperature 28, dew point 24.
Okay, so we have 040 with 10 kilometers of visibility, 28 degrees, and the QNH is 1012. So we're gonna set 1012 here for the QNH, and we're gonna start with the preparation, right? So we go here, FMS, enter IS position, okay, clear. We have the database up to the 23 of April, and we are at the 17, so we're still on the time. We're gonna set the departure report, which is Singapore. We cross-check these coordinates, and we take the GPS one, and we set it over here. So now we go to from Singapore all the way to Jakarta. The flight number is the Cargolux 705. And just gonna put this one. Okay, so we have to connect with the data link. So now we go here to the center pedestal. We select data link. ¿Vives en Santiago? Hola, Sanoria. No, no vivo en Santiago. No vivo en Chile, de hecho. No estoy en Chile ahora. Por eso está así oscuro, como puedes ver ahora. Está de noche acá. Pre-flight, we set the same things that we put here, we put it over here. So we're gonna Singapore to Indonesia, which is today is gonna be Jakarta. Departure right now is 2307, so we're gonna put 2330. And the flight time is 1 hour and 27 minutes, 0127, and the code of the airline is Charlie Victor. And now we can connect this. Okay, now the data link is already connected, so we go here and we just wait for the data link to be connected, and we can ask for the clearance. Oh, sorry, we can ask for the route with those conditions. Okay, data link is already connected, so because we set request, we have request sending, and we wait for a couple of seconds to be connected. Okay, so now we have the route, so we put and set load, so we can load that route that has been uplinked from the company. In this, like we are simulating that we have communication with the company, and we are extracting the flight plan from there. Okay, great. So now we have the route, which is Anito Bravo 470. What the hell happened here? Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I forgot to extract the flight plan from SimBrief. It happens all the time to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm distracted. Maybe I'm in love, huh? Okay, there we go. So now we're gonna mirror the screen again. Okay, cool. So I don't know if this thing is working now. Yeah, it is working. Okay, perfect. So we have Anito Bravo 470 to position Papa Kilo Papa Whiskey 26 to Bunik. Okay, so we clear that message. Departure. Runway 02 left via Anito 6 Echo. No discontinuities. Now we go to departure and arrival. We set arrival. The runway 25 right is gonna be transition pre-org, and it's gonna be Bunik to hotel. Now we go to route. There's no discontinuities, nothing at all, and we hit activate, and then we execute. It's gonna change to act route 1. When I press execute, act route 1. That means it's active. Okay. Now we go to progress page, and we check the track miles that we have here in the FMC. We have 519, and in the flight plan, as you can see, we have 522 and 519 air distance. So we are exactly on the same track miles, the FMS and the flight plan. So that means that there is no mismatch in the route. Okay, now we go to Navrad, and this is an automatic Victor Tango Kilo AILS Spark. We go here, I'm gonna reject this, and the reserve, we're gonna go with today. Our alternate is Subrayaba in Indonesia. It's between Jakarta and Bali, something in between. You have Subrayaba, and that means 11.2 tons of fuel plus 4.5 tons. So that means 11.5 plus, so it's gonna be 15.8. That is gonna be my reserve. Okay. So let me do the math on that. 285 plus 4522. Yes, it's perfect. 15,800. It's gonna be our reserve. Cruise level for today is gonna be flight level 350. Cox index is gonna be 40. And step size RVSM, I'm just gonna put 0 because I don't wanna climb more than flight level 350. Okay. I always do that mistake. Okay. Now we have the next page, and we have thrust limit, so we have 28 degrees and 28 degrees in the same thing, and we just leave this one here. We are going to set the winds for the meantime. Okay, so the wind is there. We want to execute this, and now we have the set winds as well. Okay, perfect. So we go with the set winds, and we're gonna load this wind as well. So now we have the sun forecast as well. I'm going to ask the wind again, and I'm going to start with the overhead. So everything is perfect here, navigation, auto, all this is connected, APU is off. We just have one external power connected. APU is off for the meantime. All this is off because the engines are not running, so the electrical, the generators are not working. Just the the external power right now is supplying the airplane with energy. The man hydraulic pumps are in off. All these lights are the panel lights and are all off. Emergency lights are off. Engine fuel, if fire switches, they are all guarded inside. They send with the APU. Cargo fire system is also not in use. Engine start switches are all in normal. Jettison system is off. Fuel pumps are off. Engine anti-ice and wind anti-ice is in auto. Wipers are off. Window heat is on. Taxi lights and landing lights are off. Result this is in auto. Ram turbine, of course, is not deployed. Center air data in normal. This switch is in normal. These two are in on your damper. These ones are not in manual. They are in automatic, the system, and we have select the auto select in normal. 24 degrees on the temperature selections and 17 degrees in the lower part of the cabin. Equipment cooling is normal. Trims are on. High flow is not needed. Packs are already connected, but they are not supplying any air conditioning because the APU is off. But we're gonna start the APU now, so eventually they will come to on. Anyways, 28 degrees, so it's pretty hot inside. So navigation lights, they go to on. These ones, they go to on all the time. I'm just gonna put the dome light a little bit like lower. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna go with the flight directors on. The initial heading for us is gonna be heading 023. 023 is perfect. We're gonna go with VR left and right. Traffic, we're gonna connect this one. Oxygen we test. We're gonna initiate the electronic flight back. All these switches are at 12 o'clock position. We have toga flight director, no VSP, and TCAS off. Speed is 0. Altitude is at 40 feet, and we check that, of course, with the airport elevation, which is 22 feet. My God, why? Okay, so we have 30 feet and we have 22 feet for the airport elevation. So we cross-check the altimeters basically. Heading is 113, so we check it here with the magnetic compass. Everything looks good here. Automatic, left, off. All these switches are off. Auto brake is RTO. Landing gear is down. We go with the status. Everything there is normal. Engines, there's no exceedance. And checklist, we reset everything to all. So we start everything from the very beginning. Speed brake is down. Idle. Reversers are stowed. Flap is up. Fuel control switches are cut off. Parking brake is set. Stabilizer cutoff switches are in normal position. The frequency is going to be 122.8 and 122.00 just to listen to the 80s. I'm going to set this one to here and here and here. This one is in data. I'm going to go set the seat belts, weather plus turbulence, and the left system. Data link is connected, rudder is 0.
Yeah, I am.
BHF we have 121.5. In the second one, this is the audio selector for the first officer. We have all above, standby, and the left system. Okay, just gonna load the wind again. I'm gonna execute this, and we have the send wind again. I'm gonna load this one again, and we are just waiting for the cargo to be finished. Yeah, we have some traffic actually departing from runway 0220. I would like to depart from this runway actually, because the wind is pretty low. We have 3 knots. Yeah, you know, guys, I'm gonna change the departure runway. I'm gonna go with the runway 20 right. Okay, and that one, the departure should be Anito 7 Foxtrot. Okay, so I'm gonna execute this. Anito 7 Foxtrot, that's perfect. Okay, cool. I'm gonna change this one. Anito 7 Foxtrot. So we're gonna depart to the other side. So the departure is gonna be 203 actually. So we're gonna change the heading. 203. That's perfect. Okay. I'm gonna set the fuel for the meantime. So fuel that we have for today's flight is, well, we have Jakarta 12.8 tons, 1 hour and 17 minutes. Contingency is going to be 20 minutes, so we have 3,300 kilos for that. Alternative, as I told you, is Subarayaba, which is 11.2 tons. Final reserve is 4.5, which is means 30 minutes of flight, and I need to declare emergency if I touch those ones. Minimum fuel 31.9 extra. I didn't put anything on extra fuel. Takeoff fuel is 31.9, of course, and the taxi fuel is going to be 900 kilos more or less. and we have 20 minutes for taxi. That gives us a block time, I'm sorry, a block fuel from Singapore of 32,888. That means 32.9. So we're gonna put 32,900 here, and that's perfect. Okay, and the boarding is completed. So now we're gonna set the zero fuel weight as well. And the zero fuel weight for today is 284.8. So 284.8. 284.8. So we set this one here, and we check our gross weight. It's 317.3. So we have 316.7. We have 1 tons of difference, and that is because our taxi fuel is 900 kilos. So that means there is a difference, of course. So everything looks perfect now. We're gonna set here our zero fuel weight. That is the only thing that is missing, which is 284.4. 284.4. And now that we have everything there, what we're going to do is, how much is the CG? Is 22.2. Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're gonna start to calculate our takeoff performance. Okay. So in order to do that, just gonna move these screens right over here, so it's more easy for you guys to see me. So performance, we're gonna go with runway. Actually, you know what? Exit. I'm gonna copy FMC data, so it's gonna change the runway. We're gonna extract the takeoff weight from the FMC, and we're gonna extract also the temperature, which is 28 degrees. We have 28. That's perfect. Okay, and here we have 28. Perfect. Okay, so condition for the meantime is dry. The wind, I'm just gonna put -5.
Singapore traffic cargo 7855. Passion start.
Okay, so wind right now is 040 with 3, so let's say 3 knots of tailwind. So in order to be conservative, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put -5. Okay, so I'm going to put 5 knots of tailwind. Okay, now rating, I'm going to go with a reduction of 20% of the power plus a combination of assumed temperature method. Flap configuration, I'm going to use optimum. Air conditioning, I'm going to be in on. Definitely it's going to be on with 28 degrees. And air conditioning, I'm going to set these ones to off. And the CG is 22.2. We calculate those numbers. And okay, for a reduction of 20%, this is telling me that is only allowed to take off with 293 tons. And right now I have more than that actually. I have 317 tons. Okay, that's perfect. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a reduction of 10% in that case, not 20%. So I'm going to add more power. So now most probably I'm going to have results. So I can lift that weight with a reduction of 10%. So we have results, and it's going to be takeoff 1, which is already selected. Selected temperature is going to be 50. That will give me a thrust of 93.5, and I have 93.6, so it's still okay. I'll go with takeoff. So flap is going to be 20. CG is 22. I'm just reading from here. V1 is going to be 139. VR is going to be 142. And V2 is going to be 152. Okay? So I'm going to set that V2 here in the MCP speed window. 152 LNAV VNAV. That's perfect. We go to thrust limit. Sorry. We go to, thrust limit. So we have takeoff 1 and climb 2. That's perfect. We go to the next page. And we have engine out acceleration, which is 1,500. And I'm going to make the reduction of 1,500. Acceleration is going to be also at 1,500. I'm going to go to index approach, and I'm going to see the flap 30, which is 154, and 30, 154 is the same. So the FMC and the electronic flyback are calculated exactly the same figures. Okay. So now that we have everything done, we can start with our briefing. Okay, guys. So we are in stand 509. I'm going to show you here. We are in this stand 509. So I'm going to try to aim to depart from this runway that I have here, 2620 right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to push back here, facing to the north, and then I'm going to continue on November 2, all the way to Victor 1 and Whiskey 1 to runway 20 right. Okay, that's pretty much straightforward our takeoff. Okay, for the emergency for the emergency briefing, before 80 knots, we will stop for any relevant reason. Between 80 knots and approaching V1, that is the high speed regime. So we're gonna abort just for 4 reasons, which is engine failure, fire, predicted wind shear, aircraft unsafe or unable to fly. In that condition, I will say stop, and my action is gonna be to close the thrust lever, disconnect the auto throttle. The auto throttle, you disconnect that button from here. Okay, so we disconnect the auto throttle. Maximum full reverse. I will check the pre-brake is up. I will put manual braking or RTO operation with the auto brake. I will monitor the acceleration, of course. At 60 knots, I will start to reduce the power. I'm gonna stop the airplane with the airplane is stop. I'm gonna set my parking brake. I'm gonna make a PA, attention crew station, so everybody in the back will prepare themselves for a possible evacuation. The guy who is flying with me, he's the pilot not flying, he was gonna cross-check my actions, he's gonna check for any omission that I have made, he will check for his pre-brake up, reverse green, he will monitor the acceleration, he will call out for the 60 knots, and after that he will call the ATC that we're stopping on the runway, okay? After that, we're gonna evaluate the failure that we had, memory items, normal checklist, and if we need to evacuate, we're gonna set the situation with the fire brigade, with the ATC, with all available means, and we're gonna take the decision to make the evacuation together with the checklist, of course, following the checklist, evacuation checklist that we can find in the back part of our QRH, okay? If the decision is to continue, we're not gonna do anything below 400 feet except cancel any other warnings that we don't have here in the front of my vision. I'm gonna set the parking brake, I'm gonna set the landing gear to up. And at 400 feet, which is the minimum altitude, a minimum safe altitude that the industry adopts, I'm gonna start to look at my engines and try to find which one was the cause. And if I have memory items, I will do it in that moment. If I don't have memory items to do, I will just continue with my takeoff. I'm gonna continue my climb up to 1,500 feet. At 1,500 feet, I'm gonna start to accelerate the airplane. I'm gonna clean on schedule. When the airplane is clean, I'm gonna set flight level change. I'm gonna verify that I have continuous thrust in these remaining engines. I'm gonna set VNAV engine out. And after that, I'm gonna start with my normal checklist, okay? When the normal checklists are done, I'm gonna continue with my normal checklist, which is gonna be after takeoff checklist, and then I'm gonna decide which one is gonna be my burst course of action. In this case, we are below the maximum landing weight, so we can come back to runway 20 left here in Singapore, which is a very long runway, and we don't have any obstacles. So actually, we can just maintain on the SID, and we're gonna continue climb up to our MSA, which is 3,500 feet, as you can see here. As for the normal departure, we expect the Anito 7 Foxtrot, which is the chart 10-3 Echo, 6th of September 2019. Minimum safe, I already told you guys, is 3,500 feet. We have a radar altitude transition, which is going to be 11,000 feet. So we're going to set 11,000 feet here right now. In real life, guys, the airplane already know the transition altitude. They extract that information from the database. But here in the PMDG, you have to say the transition altitude all the time to the FMC. Radar is required. RNAV 1 navigation specification, GNS required. It's not a problem because we have required navigation performance on 1 and the actual navigation performance 0.05. So it's less than the minimum requirement. Okay, aircraft unable to fly the SID profile shall inform the ATC prior to depart and to spec radar vectoring if necessary. On initial contact when requesting the ATC, inform ATC of the flight level aircraft can cross Anito. Okay, so we need to check Anito, and we're gonna tell them, yes, we can cross Anito actually at flight level 350, which is gonna be our cruise altitude. Okay, so there's no issues. Hello, Nadal, how you doing, man? All good? Cruising levels will be issued after takeoff by Singapore radar, which is one of these frequencies, maybe 120.3. All SID include noise preferential route, so we don't have to do any special procedure for to alleviate our noise. The speed shall not exceed 230 until passing 4,000 feet and shall not exceed 250 until passing 10,000 feet. Okay, so we have the restriction here, we don't have the restriction there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go here to VNAV. I'm going to set 230 until passing 4,000 feet. So I have this speed restriction here. Okay. So I have 250 below 10,000 feet, which I'm going to put here 2,000, and then I have another speed restriction of 234,000 feet. Okay. We have a loss of communication procedure in case that we need to, and the minimum SID climb gradient let's say that we maintain 200 on the ground speed, is more or less 1,250 feet. Initial climb currents is going to be 3,000, so we set 3,000 here. And that's pretty much that's it, okay? So let's check finally our routing. So for Anito 7 Foxtrot, we're gonna continue on the track 203 for 4 miles to position Ledox 1,500 feet. Then we're gonna continue the same track to position Let Go 2,500 feet. That is kind of tricky. These two waypoints are almost in the same name, more or less, okay? Then we're gonna turn left on the track 113 for 8 miles to position Divsa 4,000 feet or above, which is there. Then we're going to track 120 for 6 miles to position Batam, Bravo Tango Mike. And then 113 for 7 miles to position Dogra with 6,000 feet or below. Okay? If there is no ATC, I'm just going to continue climbing all the way to flight level 350 because there's no need to maintain 6,000 feet or below if there's no traffic around, right? And then we fly to Dosno, and from Dosno we fly to position Anito. Okay, that's pretty much the flight for today. Terrain 3,500 feet. There's no issues anyway. We are in visual conditions, so we can maintain away from the terrain. Weather consideration for the meantime, nothing. Maybe a little bit of tailwind for our departure, just to maximize the time. I'm not gonna go to the other side of the airport to make a super long taxi if the wind is almost calm. And yeah, that's pretty much that's it. So guys, what I'm gonna do now, here we are. I'm gonna start with I'm gonna close everything, and we're gonna do the checklist. Okay, so doors, I'm gonna close all. And we can start with the checklist for the meantime. With the pre-flight checklist, oxygen is tested 100%. Flight instrument heading altimeter, we have heading 113, altimeter 1012, set a cost check. A pre-flight checklist is complete. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, great. So I'm gonna transfer all the power to the APU. Okay. And now what we're going to do, we're gonna disconnect the ground power. And we're gonna tell to prepare for pushback. And for the meantime, we're gonna ask for the engineer for the permission to pressurize the hydraulics. He gave us the clearance, so now we can start to pressurize. So we put all these switches to auto. The system full lights goes off, and the pressure, of course, goes off as well. We go with the fuel pumps to on. Press light goes off. We go with the beacon, and we do a recall here, and we have 5 things, which is 4 engines and the decals off. So we clear that message, and we can set our transponder to transponder, and the captain has to set the trim, which is 6.2, and we check that right over here, 6.2. So now we can call for the before the checklist. MCP, we have V2 152 LNAV VNAV heading 203, altitude 3000. Takeoff speeds, we have 139, 142, and 152. CO pre-flight is complete. Trim 6.2 units are set. Taxi takeoff briefing is complete. Before start checklist completed. So we're gonna remove this, and the nose is gonna go to the left. Okay, we are releasing the parking brake, and we start the pushback. Hello?
Hello?
Se fueron todos ya.
English?
No English, man. We're gonna speak Spanish today.
Yep, that one.
Lito?
I ain't got a clue what you're saying, mate.
Nah, I think the only language that you know is English.
Yep, that's the one.
You see? You need to learn a new one.
I could learn a new one, yeah.
You need to find yourself a girlfriend. That's better way.
I already have one.
Amazing, man. Enjoy your flight.
And you, mate, take care.
You too, man. Parece que me dejaron solo, mi amigo, así que no importa. Nada me contesta, pero me contestó un australiano, parece, por el acento, muy simpático. All my friends, they just left me. Nobody wanted to communicate with me in Spanish, but there was a very cool guy. I think it was like an Australian accent, I think. I don't really know, but I think he has a Spanish girlfriend, so I'm glad for him. Those girls are tough, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go with the packs 1 and 3 off, so we don't smell that fumes coming out from this engine start. So we're gonna go with engines 3 and 4, and engines 3 and 4 full control switches to go to run. Okay, we are starting our engines. Oli,
Ajá.
¿se fueron ya?
Sí.
Ah, dale.
Tenía ahí un cargolux al lado.
Sí, sí despegó y estaba hablando con él, parece que era como australiano o algo así, muy simpático.
Era inglés, parece que tenía como golf algo en el...
Ah, ok. Bacanazo. Pero tengo el tiro. Okay, so engines are running, so we're gonna set the parking brake as well, and we're gonna start engines 1 and 2, and we're gonna hit these 2 engines to run as well. During the start, I have said this one many times, but just for people who are new in the channel, during the start, we as a pilot, we don't have to maintain the hand here, at least in this airplane, of course, in the 747-8. We don't have to maintain the hand here in the fuel control switch or waiting for something like just to immediately act. No. Here, if we have a failure, we're going to have a ACAS message that is going to say auto start fail. Auto start the engine affected. Let's say auto start engine 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever. In that case, the only thing that we need to do is just to confirm which engine is affected, and we just leave these ones to the cutoff position, and that's it. But right now, the EEC is totally under control of the start. Okay, it's actually controlling every single parameter, and it do it better for you, for us. It can motor the engine if it's need to. It can cut the fuel if one of these parameters are out of limit, especially the EGT. You can see that the start EGT, the limit is right over there. Now it's just erased because the engine has been stabilized. Now it's running. Okay, so it maintains basically all the parameters good for us. Okay, so now the engine has been running, and we're gonna set the APU to off. The generators are already supplying all the airplane with electricity. Engines ITIs is an all-in auto. WIII NTIs is an auto. We go with the packs 1, 2, and 3. And for the meantime, I'm gonna set the flaps to 20. And oops, I'm gonna set the fly controls in the page, and I'm gonna start with the movement of the flight controls. This is a good thing to do as well if you are doing this in the simulator, because it's actually the best way to confirm how is the calibration of your joystick, for example. So yeah. So we go with a full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral. And we just wait for the engineer to leave the front of the, actually from the nose gear of the airplane, so we can start to move the rudder. Why we wait for the engineer to move from there? Because if for any reason because we need to move this one, right? But sometimes they are interconnected with the nose gear. So if we move the rudders, we can move also the nose wheel, and we can hit the engineer, or we can damage also the system if, for example, the tug is already is still connected with the airplane. So in order to make sure that nothing can damage the nose gear of the airplane, we just wait for everybody to be like outside of the airplane. So now we have thumbs up, and now we can start with the rudder. So rudder, full left, full right, and neutral. Perfect. So now we're gonna do a recall. So we have the TCAS off only, and we can do the before start checklist. So we have anti-ice is in auto, recall is checked, flight controls are checked, run equipment is just moving away, and before start checklist is complete. Clear on the left and clear on the right. We're just gonna wait for our amazing engineer of today to move from the front of the airplane, and we can start to move. Están ahí con ATC ahora, que pues estoy en Singapur y sí estamos con ATC. Lo que estaba leyendo, no te pude responder porque justo estaba preparando el streaming, pero yo creo que es que no estás conectado, tienes que apretar conectar. Una vez que te conectas puedes escuchar al ATC, si no te conectas nunca vas a poder escuchar a nadie. Y acuérdate de sintonizar la frecuencia correcta, porque si no hay frecuencia no vas a escuchar a nadie. Y recuerda que el ATC son personas como tú o como yo. O sea, si es que hay ATC, vas a escuchar a alguien. Si no hay ATC conectado a esa hora, no vas a escuchar absolutamente a nadie. Okay, so everybody's out. We're gonna go with the taxi light on and parking brake off. Singapore traffic, cargo loop 705. We are taxiing to runway 20 right via November 2, Victor 1, Whiskey 1. Ese, Whiskey, Sierra, Sierra, Sierra. Okay, so it's gonna be Victor 1, which is the second one that we have here. We have Victor 2 and Victor 1. So we're gonna turn on Victor 1 and to the holding point. This is gonna be a very short taxi, so we're gonna set the weather 2 on. So now we have weather plus turbulence here in our presentation. So we're gonna do with the we're gonna start with the takeoff review. So we have Toga Toga, El Navinav, altitude is 3,000 feet, departing from runway 20 right, flaps is 20, initial, I don't know, look, the trim was 6.2 and now it's 6.1, so I'm gonna adjust that one. Okay, perfect. And the heading is 203 complete. Okay, so before takeoff checklist complete, checklist complete. What would happen if, for example, you have 6.2 here and you have something like there, 5.4? Nothing is gonna happen, guys, nothing, because as long as you maintain the trim in this green band, you are good to go. Okay, there's not gonna be any alarm, no alarm of configuration, nothing. Okay. Sí, estaba conectado. ¿Y en qué frecuencia? Obviamente instalé ahora el Swift y funciona. No sé, es que a ver, ¿qué versión primero tienes? ¿Tienes P3D? ¿Tienes Flight Simulator 10? ¿Qué es lo que tienes? Porque yo sé que el Flight Simulator 10, creo, el Flight Simulator 9 no funciona con V-Pilot. Entonces hay que empezar de eso primero. Okay, so everything looks clear on the right side. We're gonna make another call. Singapore traffic, cargo loop 705, entering runway 20 right and for takeoff. Have beautiful reflections of this airport, Singapore, and now we're gonna proceed all the way to Indonesia, Jakarta. Okay, so we are going inside the runway, so we're gonna put all the lights, strobe lights in on. I'm gonna set this one to TA array, and I'm just gonna give everybody a call in the back. I'm gonna increase the range. 20 right is confirmed, and like at least 10 miles, so I can see like which is my two-way point, like to where I'm flying. FSX. Verifica si todavía funciona con el VPilot. Creo que el VPilot no funciona con algunas versiones. Pero yo creo que no pusiste la frecuencia bien. Estoy casi seguro que con el Flight Simulator 2004 creo que no funciona VPilot. Ok, takeoff. Check thrust. Takeoff. Thrust ref. Thrust set. Hold. Gear up. Autopilot in command. LNAV. Thrust ref. LNAV. VNAV speed. And I'm gonna take advantage. There is no ATC, so I'm just gonna go directly to flight level 350. Okay. Okay, so we have the reduction to climb 2 now. Puse la frecuencia 132.2, 132.3. Lo que pasa que... Espera, dame un segundo. Flaps 10. Speed check, flaps 10. And flap 5. Speed check, flaps 5. And I'm gonna avoid this restriction that I have here. So I'm just gonna go one click here. Another click. Another click. And 6,000 or below, I'm gonna make another click. So now we go all the way to flight level 350 without any restrictions. Flaps 1, speed check, flaps 1. And as you can see here, flap 230, it was up to 4,000 feet. This speed is just below the flap up speed, so I keep flaps 1 until I pass the 4,000 feet restriction. And when the airplane starts to accelerate, I'm gonna make the selection of the flap up. Okay, flaps up, speed check, flaps up. Okay, flap up, engine anti-ice is in auto, and we go with the after takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist complete. Ok, Yakarta dice ahí que el más cercano, por eso decía 132.3. A ver, déjame ver. 132.3, claro, exactamente, Yakarta. Pero para, en ese caso, mejor que te, claro, si escucháis Yakarta está bien, sí, te funciona. De hecho, yo también voy a escuchar 132.3 ahora. Okay, so there's no ATC, so I'm just gonna make a shortcut. I'm gonna fly direct to Anito and execute. So we're flying Anito now.
Continue P90, Qatari 206.
Sí, si escuchas Yakarta es porque te está funcionando, efectivamente. Así que yo creo que ya ahí lo solucionaste el problema. Raro, verifica si es que el V-Pilot funciona con Flight Simulator 10.
Confirm that's for Cathay 551. Roger, say again. Bunik 2 Hotel arrival for Cathay 551, thank you.
Bunik 2 Hotel is gonna be the arrival. And that's what we have here, Bunik 2 Hotel. So now we are passing over Victor Tango Mike and we go to position Dogra, but actually we're flying to Anito, so we have something like this now. It's better to see this one. Here in Anito, we are gonna be with Jakarta. We have CBDLC available, we can connect with them 15 to 30 minutes before, and yeah, that's it. And of course, flight level above flight level 280 is RVSM, up to flight level 410. Okay, so 10,000 feet, so we go with the lights off, strobe light off, and we go with the seatbelts in auto. 11,000 is the transition altitude, so we're gonna set our altimeter to standard, so we set here standard set and cross check, passing for level 0109 now. Sí, decía que sí funcionó raro. Inténtalo de nuevo, yo creo. No sé, de repente quizás pasado algo, no sé, no estaba bien conectado, no sé, algo por así. Algo como de ese estilo me imagino. De repente quizás el avión tampoco no estaba bien configurado, de repente la radio. Y eso también quizás influyó, no sé. Estoy tratando de buscar las posibles causas de por qué te pasó eso, pero claro, no te podría decir así te puedo decir cosas que podrían llegar a ser, pero como no tengo tu computadora a la vista, no sé lo que hiciste mal. Okay, so let's talk about the route of today, guys. First of all, definitely there's gonna be some weather here during the descent at flight level 240. There is some icing and lighting here, but lighting is gonna be more or less at the all this area with lighting, more or less at the west side of the airport, but actually pretty far away. Right here there is a volcano, right over there, and it always erupts, but hopefully today is not gonna be the case. Let's see how is our turbulence for today, guys. We're gonna be cruising at flight level 350, so we have information at flight level 34, so we're gonna set 34. Let's see if we have some turbulence. There is no turbulence actually in this part of the route. There is something here, but very far away from us, so we are good. And as I told you, yeah, the thunderstorms are more or less at the west side of the track that we are flying today. Winds right now at flight level 340, yeah, we are gonna have a little bit of crosswind from the left, and then it's gonna be like all the time from the left, which is the same that we have here with with 50 knots. Yeah, exactly the same that the wind that we are experiencing right now. What else? Echo tops. Is something there? No, nothing there. So yeah, that's it, guys. I think that is gonna be the only threat for our flight, but everything, like as I showed you before, lighting for example is pretty far away from everything nearby, so we are good, guys. That's it. Alternatives that we have for today. Sadly, we don't have too many in this route because the flight is pretty short. So we are gonna take definitely Singapore, which is a huge airport, the one that we just depart, and Jakarta, and the next one is gonna be Surabaya, which is our alternative for today, which is this airport right over here. Okay, and the day after tomorrow we are gonna go to here, to Bali, Whiskey Alpha Delta Delta. So yeah, So this is our flight, our alternates for today. Definitely it's gonna be just between Singapore and Jakarta. Both of them are with good weather conditions. So if we expect something weird in the middle of the flight, we just proceed to one of these two airports. And in the vicinity of Jakarta, if for any reason we need to divert, Jakarta, the weather gets pretty nasty or something like that, we just go to Surabaya, which is a little bit to the east side of the this like this, let's say like an island of Indonesia. Okay, actually it's all like islands, yeah. And this is the Strait of Malacca right over here, and we are flying this route. And we are just gonna contact two ATCs today, which is Singapore, which is this area, up to position Anito, and after Anito we just contact Jakarta control. Okay, pretty much straightforward, guys. Very easy flight today. During the monsoon season, this area gets pretty nasty in terms of thunderstorms, and you have a lot of rain here in this area. It gets pretty humid. Some things in life, they're good when they're humid, but this one is one of those who are not very good when they are humid. If you know what I mean. But yeah, out of the joke, it gets pretty bad here. Like no nasty, nothing like, for example, that the thunderstorm that you might see in Argentina or Brazil. That definitely, in my opinion, those ones are the worst ones in the world. But here it gets like challenging. Let's say that is the word. Yeah, you have some weather around, so you need to divert. The good thing for everybody who flies around here is that there is no too many restricted airspace here, so more or less you can fly with no issues at all. Okay. For example, now I'm showing my restricted airspace, and you can see here all these positions here. For example, Butterworth is a danger area between ground and flight level 500. Okay, but if you divert a little bit to the south, it shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, but you have alternatives. That's the good thing, at least. Okay, so we are climbing to flight level 350, and this is gonna be a pretty short flight. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna listen. How is the weather right now in Jakarta, so we can start to plan ahead of what are going to be our possibilities, runway in use, and if there is something tricky over there in Jakarta.
Indian airport information. Quebec 1630 Zulu weather, winds 199 at 6, visibility 6,000, sky condition Q, cloud at 2,000, temperature 26, dew point 22, QNH 1012, right on initial contact information, Quebec.
Okay, so Jakarta right now is wind is 200 with 6, visibility we have 6,000 meters. That's a lot, actually. Sky we have few at 2,000 feet. Temperature is 26 degrees, so it's pretty hot, and the dew point is 22 degrees, so it's pretty humid. It's very close. The temperature and the dew point, when they are very close, that means there's a lot of water in the atmosphere. You know, it's and when it's equal, let's say in this case, like let's go for a lower value. Let's say that the temperature outside is 4 degrees and the dew point is 4. That means that most probably you're gonna have fog in that airport. Okay, that's the way how you interpret that weather. And the QNH is 1012. So yeah, so it's a little bit just one notch below the standard of 1013. So that's pretty good. So with these weather conditions, 200 with 6, most probably we're gonna use runway 25 right for our arrival. So we're gonna start to prepare runway 25 right in Jakarta, and we're gonna start to speak a little bit about what we're going to do there and how we're gonna do it. Yeah, we have more or less like 160 miles of level flight, and after that, yeah, we're gonna start with descent. So what are we going to do now? Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. This one is perfect. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're gonna wait for flight level 350. We're gonna contact Jakarta. We're gonna check in, and we're gonna start to prepare our descent to Jakarta. Finally, some good weather, guys. Like all these flights, the last 4 flights, it was with some. Definitely, the worst one was in Kathmandu. Very nasty weather over there. I almost didn't make it. Plus PMDG was not working pretty well, so but we did it. Okay, so now we have our trails here. We are leaving Singapore behind, and we are just crossing all these little islands here in the middle. And right here at the right side, we start to see like the main line of Indonesia. Passing 31,000 feet, climbing to flight level 350. Mach for cruise today. You can see that one here in the VNAV page. Okay, right now the active VNAV stage is climb. Okay, and at which rate is going to be an economic climb. Okay, so that means that the speed that the airplane is maintaining right now is in reference to be more economic. Okay, then later on, if I go to next page, you have one page of 3. So if I go next page, I have economical cruise. Okay, so that means that flight level 350, the econ speed, the economical speed is going to be Mach decimal 836. Okay, you have to understand that all these airplanes are made in order to save money for the companies, of course. Okay, we are almost 2,000 feet to level out, so I'm gonna go with the speed, vertical speed. So when I change mode from VNAV to vertical speed, the speed window already illuminated. Okay, it tells me like basically what the airplane is saying is like, okay, tell me which speed you want me to maintain. Okay, because on VNAV, this the FMS and the autopilot are connected basically to maintain the speed and the vertical navigation at the same time. But when you are intervening the climb, in this case 1,500 feet per minute climb, the airplane doesn't know which speed you want to maintain. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. Okay, greetings Calocho, hope you're doing well. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. I'm doing pretty well actually. Looking forward for that weekend. I hope you guys are looking forward for the weekend as well. Even if you are staying home and quarantine as me, for example, take care of yourselves, guys. This is no joke, especially if you have old people living with you, like your parents or like grandpas or something like that. We have to be careful with those with this virus. It's heavy stuff. Okay. One big hug for maybe he doesn't know me, but I know him because of the streaming. And Chewy, I think well, he's very popular here doing videos. I knew about the loss of his father, so I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of difficult. So please, guys, take care of yourself, okay? And all the support for him, of course, and his family. Okay, we have alt. So now we're gonna change to VNAV. So we have VNAV path, and what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna put the TCAS in below. And yeah, so we go and see our now is active econ cruise. That means that we are flying in cruise right now. Okay, descent, climb already disappeared. Actually, it doesn't have any more information now because the climb is over. Okay, so now the airplane is actually acting in econ cruise page. Okay, and then in 242 nautical miles more at 0031 Zulu, the airplane is gonna start to act in the descent mode. Okay, so now we can see actually from way before that stage of the flight happened, which is gonna be the speed of the descent, which are gonna be the restrictions, and when are we going to have our first altitude constraint, which is gonna be Bunig at flight level 220. Okay, give me a call to my friend in Jakarta. Jakarta, Salam Alaikum, Qatari. Sorry, Cargo Lux 705, heavy flight level 350, position Anito.
Cargo Lux 705, 44276.
4726, Cargo Lux 705.
Jakarta radar, Cathay 551 ready for descent.
Okay, so yeah, that's it.
Cathay 551, descent pass level 150.
Descend level 150, Cathay 551.
Cargo 705 identified, maintain flight level 350.
We maintain flight level 350, cargo log 705. Okay, so we maintain flight level 350, and so we have 229 nautical miles to start our
And
descent.
Jakarta radar, do you have latest weather
That's
for
this Wi-Fi
Jakarta? Not picking
simulator is
anything
the
up on
best for
native.
quarantine. Yes, yes, you're right, man. It is. It's the best thing. It's the best therapy, actually. I know, but probably Chewy is suffering a lot for the loss of his dad, and for sure streaming, being with you guys, and he's a super nice guy, and definitely maintain, you know, the mind away a little bit and try to basically absorb all this love energy coming from you guys. Definitely, yeah. I hope he's doing well, and I wish him the best for the future, for sure. I don't wish anybody who lost somebody who loves, definitely. Okay, guys. That was aside, of course. Okay, we are maintaining for level 350. So we are gonna be arriving in Jakarta in more or less like 54 minutes. So we're gonna go with a very short cruise briefing, okay, guys? So alternatives, we already discussed it. We have Singapore in our way back, and now we are already with Indonesia, so we just continue all the way to Jakarta, okay? We have 2 runways there, the weather conditions are amazing, and if something nasty goes on, we're just gonna go to our alternative, which is Hubarayaba at the east side of the country. Okay, for the decompression, if we have cabin altitude here, that's gonna be that means that we are losing the cabin pressure. So the first action is gonna be protect ourselves with the oxygen mask. We establish Q communication.
Stand by.
We check the cabin altitude and rate. If it's uncontrollable, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put flight level 100 here. We are just over the water, so there's no high terrain. Heading, in this case, I'm gonna move a little bit to the left, which is less traffic. Flight level change, I'm going to change from Mach to indicator airspeed, so I don't increase the stress on the fuselage.
Negative, Cathay 551.
I'm going to close the thrust levers, and I'm going to set the parking brake. I'm going to set the speed brake to up position. Then I'm going to make a second loop just to refine those selections, and I'm going to make a... And I'm going to cross check if there was an explosive decompression or not. If it was an explosive decompression,
1016, thank you.
we can accelerate to
Cathay
VMO,
551.
MMO. Okay, the pilot who is not flying, he gonna deploy the oxygen mask. He gonna set all the lights on. He gonna set the seatbelt on. Transponder 7700, which is an emergency code. He gonna declare the emergency in this case with Jakarta in 132.3, and also in the emergency frequency, which is 121.5. Every single airline is listening to radios at the same time, and they should be on guard on frequency 121.5. Okay, and after that, we are gonna join as a crew in the checklist. Okay, we separate a little bit, right? Because one guy is flying the airplane, we're doing all this this flow that I give it to you. Altitude, heading, speed, thrust levers, speed brake, and blah blah blah. And the other guy is basically configuring the airplane for the decompression. So we join again on the checklist, okay? And that's it. There is going to be a call out 2,000 feet before level off. In this case, at 12,000 feet. Another call out is going to be at 11,000 feet. Basically telling us that we are going to be next to level off. At 10,000 feet, the decompression is over, so we're gonna remove the oxygen mask. We check with each other. We check the airplane, and then after that we're gonna decide which is gonna be the first course of action, which I think most probably we're just gonna continue to Jakarta. Okay. If we have an engine failure with this altitude, we are at 35,000 feet. We are flying at Mach decimal 836. We have a ground speed of 494 knots. That in kilometers is like 950 kilometers per hour, almost 1,000 kilometers. There is no need to rush. That's why I said like the altitude and the speed and everything. There's no need to rush. This is not when you have a failure on the ground. You know, when you are taking off and you have an engine failure, a fire, or whatever, that is more critical because you are very close to the ground. So you have a lot of obstacles. You have terrain, you have buildings, you have people, you know, below you and everything. So it's more critical. Here, Take your time. The first thing you need to do is to control your airplane, because otherwise you're gonna stall, because the airplane is not able to handle flight level 350 with only with 3 engines. Okay, you lost one. So the first thing that you need to do is to check which one is gonna be your cruise altitude. And in order to do that, you have to come here to the Econ cruise page, and you have to select here VNAV engine out. And most probably with this way we can do it. Actually, with this airplane has such much of power, and we are so light that today, even if we lose one engine, we can maintain for level 350, so it's not going to be an issue. So if we have the failure, we come here, we see which is our alternate capability. In this case, it's flight level 350, so there's nothing to change here. We're going to execute this. Now the profile of the FMC is going to be the predictions with one engine failure. Okay, so the fuel is going to be calculating, the speed is going to be calculating, our rate of descent and rate of climb are going to be calculating using only 3 engines. That's amazing, right? We are telling to the FMC that we lost one engine basically. Okay, and then what is going to happen? We're going to have maximum continuous thrust here. The speed is going to be maintaining, because we don't need to climb or descend. In this case, we don't need to descend basically, and VNAV is going to still remaining. And then when we have done that is when we start with the normal checklist of the memory items that we have. If you have an engine failure, if engine shutdown, engine fire, whatever. Okay, and then of course we decide which one is going to be the burst course of action, which again I will continue to Jakarta, which is just like 100 and something miles away from my position. That means like in half an hour I'm going to be landing in Jakarta, this airplane. Okay, alternatives, we have Singapore, we have Jakarta, and we have Surabaya, all with amazing weather conditions. So that is the briefing for the cruise, guys. Pretty much simple and straightforward, because this route is actually pretty much straightforward. There is no there's no complications there, especially during this time of the year. If you come here like in, let's say, 2 months, all this is gonna be
Qatar 088 Jakarta.
All this is gonna be like popcorn, you know, like thunderstorms everywhere.
Qatar
It's gonna be crazy.
088 descend flight level 170 when ready.
No, now I learned so many things before quarantine in school. I couldn't fly every day. Now I do, especially with the streams. They are very helpful to learn new things.
Qatar 088
I'm very happy that you are learning with these streams, guys. I really appreciate your feedback, and also that you appreciate the these streamings, that you are learning a lot. That is encourage me more to continue with these streamings. I don't know what is going to happen after quarantine, because I will probably have to go back to work. I will have more flights definitely, so I don't know, guys, but at least these videos are going to be there. You can see my channel here in YouTube. All these videos are going to be there, so the information is going to be there for you guys if you want to look in more detail. And you can always reach me in my channel, guys, or with with my friends of Flights in Chile. If you have questions for the 320, you can redirect those questions to Harald. He is an amazing pilot, so and he knows a lot. Of course, he's my best friend. Yeah, of course, he can help you with many questions, most probably with questions that I don't even know, and he knows the answer. So just go there. Harald, he's listening to me, Harald. Anyway, so yeah, you can address those questions to Harald. What I would say. What else? Me cagaste, pues Harald. Está bueno, te está levantando. Me cagaste.
Jakarta, Qatar 088.
Qatar 088, go ahead.
Yes, confirm routing after Bunik.
Bunik to hotel is gonna be, most probably, I think.
Qatar 088, please say again.
Yes, confirm routing after Bunik, after intersection Bunik. What can we expect?
Dar Matu, saludo Matu.
You already cleared for Bunik to hotel arrival.
No, you didn't clear us for that one. So okay, Bunik to hotel arrival, Qatar 088.
Yeah, actually, Harald was right. He gave the information for a Kate or something like that, but not to Harald. Anyway, we're gonna start with the descent preparation, guys. So the first thing that we need to know when we start the descent preparation is the weather. We know the weather. The weather is amazing in Jakarta. Runway 25 right is going to be in use. We have the QNH 1012 is already set. The temperature is 28 degrees, super humid. I like humid. And yeah, that's it. So now we need to know our landing weight, okay? So in order to know our landing weight, we go to the progress page, guys. And here in progress page, it gives us a lot of information. The most important one is at what time we're gonna get off from this airplane. We're gonna start to drink some beers. And the second one is how much fuel do we have in our fuel tanks at the moment of the arrival in Jakarta. Right now, this one is telling se ríen. In this moment in Jakarta, we are arriving with 19.5 tons of fuel. That's a lot of fuel. Yeah, like we have fuel for I don't know, for 20 years of Toyotomis or something like that, like for heaters. So we have 19.5 tons of fuel. That's a lot. So I'm just gonna write that number because I'm quite idiot when I'm flying. So I just need to write down everything, and I'm getting all, of course.
Delta,
And then we're gonna go here to index and we go to performance, and we're gonna check this zero fuel weight, which is 284.4. Okay. So now that we have the zero fuel weight and our landing fuel, if we add this figure plus this figure, we will know which one is our landing weight. That's amazing, right? Like, so we do a calculation, very simple. We have to add, which is 284.4 plus 19.5. Okay, so we have a landing weight of the 303.9. Okay, that's pretty high. So we're gonna go here again. I'm just gonna write it down here because otherwise I'm gonna forget. 303.9. Okay, so now we go to index and we go to the approach page. Okay.
206 Jakarta.
And now this weight. Right now we have our actual weight is 308.2. This is the weight that we are now. Okay, but now we are saying to the airplane, no man, this 30.
705 Jakarta.
Yes sir, go ahead for cargo 705.
Cargo 705, you are also cleared for Bunik to hotel arrival, expect runway 255.
Okay, Bunik to hotel arrival for the ILS runway 25 right, cargo 705. Okay, as usual, so we have Bunik to hotel. So, the airplane is calculating flaps 30 with 152, but with this weight. Now we need to tell to the airplane, no, this is the landing weight. So now, actually, our speed got reduced in 1 knot, okay? So now we extract this 30 degrees of flap and 151, and we put it here. When we set that speed here in this flap, we have this indication here in the speed bug, okay? Yeah, es super complicado esto. So now we are set, right? We are set. Now the other thing that we do a recall. There is nothing there, of course. There is nothing that has failed. We go to checklist and we see if there is any notes here in between. Tanto numerito. So there is nothing in between, right? There is no notes. If there is something that has failed, we have a note here. Something that maybe we have to do during the approach. Maybe it's something that we have to do for the landing. Like, for example, extend the flaps in a different manner, or extend the landing gear in a different manner. Okay? If we have something like that, it's gonna be into here. It's gonna be in the notes. Okay? There is nothing there because the airplane is working completely normal. So we have nothing to check. So the only thing that we need to do now that we know our landing weight and we know our weight, is to cross-check our performance. We need to know how many meters we're going to use of runway. So in order to do that, we're going to open again this amazing tool, which is
Qatar 551, contact director on 123.75, good day.
123.75, Jakarta director, Cathay 551, good day.
Jakarta director is going to be online. That's amazing. So what we're going to do now is we go here to show landing. And we're going to go to, this one is for dispatch only, okay? We need to go to show en route, which is going to show our actual landing capability in Jakarta, okay? The other one has some factorization, so it's not accurate. That is only for dispatch. This one is the one that we need to know, the landing en route, okay? So we select Jakarta. Runway is going to be 25 right. Condition right now, the wind, the runway is dry, so there's no humidity, there's no rain, nothing there. The wind, I'm gonna go show keyboard, and the wind was 200 with 6, 200/6. The temperature right now is oh my god, my numbers is 26 degrees. The QNH is 1012, so we set 1012 here. Our landing weight, the big calculation that we did today, guys, I feel so clever because of this. So it's 303. Oh my god, there. 303,900. Okay, then reverse configuration. Just gonna use all operating just because I want to make some noise today. The flight configuration, I'm gonna use flap 30. Air conditioning definitely is gonna be on with this temperature. There's no way that I'm gonna use air conditioning off. Engine anti-ice is gonna be off. Brakes, I'm gonna use auto brake in 2. And no normal configuration, nothing has failed, so we just select none. Okay, and we complete this. Now that everything has been completed, we can click here in calc, which is calculate, of course. So this runway 25 right, is a runway of 3,600 and 600 meters. So right now, with this condition that we have right now, we are gonna be using almost 3 kilometers of pavement. So we have another 600 meters of additional runway, which is pretty good. Okay, so that means that our landing is gonna be with flap 30, full reverse, as you can see here, all operating, auto brake. I'm gonna set this auto brakes to 2, and you're gonna use full reverse. Okay, so that's it. Oh. Now I'm gonna continue with the descent check, descent briefing, guys. Seems legit. Esa es como la típica del así. Seems legit, yeah. Es como la típica del así el británico cuando volé con algún británico. Yeah, completely nice numbers for me. Amazing figures. Yeah. I'm not kidding about the British accent or nothing. It's just they are so strict, and you know I like it.
088, continue descent, level 150.
Okay, so now we're gonna start with the briefing. Okay, guys. So
Qatari 206, continue descent, level 160.
Level 160, Qatari 206.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the briefing, guys. So this the arrival, NOTAMs, nothing. We have one NOTAM here, which is runway 2406 closed. That is the one that is a new runway. Actually, it has been closed since forever. Okay, perfect. So we have only one runway. It's closed. Runway 25 right and 25 left are completely open. So actually, they are the old ones. The other one is new, so they are still working on it. So that's why it's closed, of course. So you don't get confused. Okay, so we're gonna do the WIII 2 hotel arrival in Jakarta. The chart from the 27th of December 2019. We have the chart 10-2 Delta, and that's it, guys. Runway 25 right, of course. We have the altitude setting is going to be in hectopascals, so we have 12012. Transition level is going to be flight level 130. So we're going to set that flight level 130 right away. 130. Oh, clear. 130 is there. RNAV 1 for this arrival. GNS is required. Okay, that means that we need some GPS, and we have 2 GPS, and they are all working, so we're fine. Not compliance with RNAV 1 aircraft shall follow is not our case. We are complying with RNAV. In case of runway change, expect radar vectors by ATC. Okay, if they change us to eventually to runway 25 left, which I don't think so. And aircraft which level is below the assigned level at the entrance waypoint shall maintain its level until waypoint appropriate to its level. Okay, that's pretty good. And the airport elevation is 34 feet. Okay. So let's go and check the tracks, okay?
Qatari 088, contact Jakarta director on 123.75, good day.
2375, Qatari 088, bye bye.
Se peina porque ¿quién se peina? Marcelo. Okay, no te entendí. Okay, so we're gonna fly to position WIII, and WIII is gonna be with maximum speed to 70 knots and above flight level 220. Then we're gonna continue to position Ramal, and that Ramal is gonna be with maximum speed to 70 knots, and the flight level is gonna be 170 or above. Then we're gonna continue on track 155 for almost 20 miles to position Nocta. Maximum speed is gonna be 240 and 11,000 feet or above. Then we're gonna continue on track 180 for almost 50 miles to position Rambu, and Rambu is gonna be with 7,000 feet sharp. Okay. Then we're gonna continue on the same track for 14.5 miles to position Priok with the maximum speed 190 and 3,000 feet. And then we're gonna transition for the ILS-25 right, which is the chart 11-4, effective from the 5th of December of 2019. minimum safe, we have two sectors. We have 2,000 feet in this direction, and actually the direction that we are flying right now. And then at the other side, at the south part of the airport is 4,500 feet. The ILS frequency is India Charlie Golf Romeo, is 110.9, which is already there, and the final approach course is 247. 6.1 nautical miles from the threshold is going to be 2,000 feet, and the station altitude for this approach is 290. So we're going to put 290 here. 290 is set. Tupo. Ah, yo. No, cero seco. Me mando puras cagadas. Todos los vuelos me mando una cagada, así que... Okay. So that's it, guys. So let's continue with our checks. Okay, so pre-og is going to be 3,000, maximum 190 knots, and then we're going to continue on the track 218 for almost 7 miles to position RCAP at 2,000 feet. Okay, as you can see here, RCAP. And then we're going to continue on the same track to the Foxtrot 25 right, which is this point, 6.1, 2,000 feet. And then we're going to continue 3-degree descent path for runway 25 right, which is the same that we have here. We have 3 degrees path, and if we maintain something like 160 knots, it's going to be 849 feet per minute down. Okay, this approach has PAPI of the left side, has high intensity approach lights, and we have our misapproach procedure. It says we turn right direct to position TCAM, which is here, TCAM, and at or below 3,000 feet, which is 3,000 below, and then to position Nocta at 6,000 feet. We have here,
705, descent flight level 150 when ready.
We descend when ready to flight level 150, cargo looks 705. Okay, 150 is set. And then we track to Nocta, and just in case that we need to, there is a Nocta holding pattern here, which is a 154 inbound with right turns. Okay, this one is RNAV 1 and GNS is required, as I told you, and the transition level is 130, is already there. For the taxi route, sadly guys, I couldn't find an affordable and less expensive itinerary for Jakarta. There was one, but it was almost 30 euros, and I think just for a one world tour it was a little bit too expensive, so I'm just having the standard default scenario of Jakarta. Sorry about that, guys. I promised myself to give you some content, but this was not the case today. I'm really sorry. So we will see what is gonna be over there. So runway 25 right, the one that we have here. So most probably we're gonna leave the runway via November 6 or November 5, something over here. And we have some apron cargo here, and we have another apron here. I'm just gonna try to go to maybe apron Juliet, which is otherwise I will have to make a huge taxi route to the other side, which is I'm not really happy about it. Maybe I will try to go to this one. I just realized I need a new headset for ATC and Bad Sim. Mira, donde mandes cagadas en vuelo real nomás. Sí, es verdad, pues no, en la vida real no. So maybe, sorry guys, I'm gonna try to vacate via November 7, and then I'm gonna take November Charlie 7, November Papa 1, and maybe I'm gonna go to one of these Juliet taxiways, parking stands, I'm sorry. Terrain is not a factor, it's 2,000 feet in this area. Weather considerations, nothing. Fuel, we already cross-checked, we have 19.5 tons of fuel, and the minimum fuel to divert is 15.8, so we have a lot of fuel. You're gonna use auto brake 2, you're gonna use full reverse, and I will go with flaps 30 for this landing. Okay, I'm gonna be fully configured at 1,500 and fully stable at 1,000 feet. And this airport that is at sea level, so 240 below 10,000 feet. Okay, just to mitigate the threat of being stable. Okay, with that had been said, I'm gonna make a recall for everybody. There's nothing there, and we can call for the descent checklist if there is no questions. I'm getting sick of this movement of the head. Okay, so recall is checked. Notes are checked because there's nothing there. Auto brake is 2. Landing data refa minimums with ref 30, 151, and Baro 290, and approach briefing is complete. Descent checklist is completed. So now we can start to focus in our descent. So that's pretty much. That was a lot of talk, actually. Yeah. And plus, I'm like getting like when I talk too much, like my throat starts to get like dry. So I need some liquor here, like running through. I'm just kidding. Nico, saludos. ¿Cómo estáis? ¿Todo bien? Espero que todo bien por ahí, amigo. Liguito, las caras. So now we are cleared when ready to descend to 15 to flight level 150. So that doesn't mean that you need to start your descent now. When you're ready, so we're just gonna wait for the top of descent, and the airplane, as long as we maintain VNAV path, the airplane is gonna start descent in automatically. When it's gonna start the descent? When you reach that top of descent point over there, and you can see that always. You can see that in your VNAV page, which is your best friend. So you can see here, which is 18 nautical miles. That is going to be in almost 2 minutes right now. 0029, 0031 is going to be the top of the descent. And the fuel, yeah, everything is there, guys. Like, open. If you are lost in life, if you don't know if this girl, the blonde one, or the brunette, go and see your VNAV page. You know, yeah. It will save your problems. It will give you the answer that you need. Todo bien por acá, pronto iniciar un vuelito desde Viena hacia WSSS Innsbruck, ¿cierto? Para seguir practicando el inglés. Qué bueno, Nico, buena, Matus. Ese soy yo, se parece a mí, el de la cara. Sí, parece que soy yo. Ya hay sticker de mí, ya. A ver. Así el internet hoy día, uno no puede hacer nada, ya está en las redes sociales, ya. Qué atroz. Ok. Let's concentrate, guys, okay? I'm dry, like definitely I need a drink. Yeah. The problem is that I have ATC and we're gonna start the descent, so I just not run from the cockpit for a beer run or like in my case like a Coke Zero run. You know, like, oh, that would be amazing. But you know, guys, here in this country, we are lacking of Coca-Cola right now. I don't know what the hell happened. Everybody loves Coca-Cola, so there's no more diet, no more Coca-Cola diet. There's no more Coke Zero, which is my favorite, by the way. They just have Pepsi, so it's like, like. No, es uno de los de Twitch. Ah, yo pensé que era yo. Se parece a mí cuando ocupaba lentes, de hecho. Así como que lo encontré muy parecido a mí. Okay, so yeah, so there is no Coke Zero, guys, here. So I had to buy Pepsi, which is not the best choice, but it's like, okay, whatever, yeah. Yeah, it's like when you go for a discotheque, you know, like your first party, right? And you see the guys who are good looking and everything. They grab the best girl, you know, and they're dancing, they're having a good time and everything. And right over there, you see that girl that nobody wants, you know, like. And you're like, yeah, but whatever, it's still good, you know, she's a, you know, like, well, this is more or less the same thing. Ay. Yeah, I'm talking a lot of nonsense today. I don't know what happened to me. I think I'm tired of the streaming, to be honest with you guys. I need some time off, yeah. So, I don't expose myself like an idiot in front of everybody. Like the people would say like, Carlos is crazy. No. That happens when you are closed in your house for so many days, and plus you expose yourself in front of the camera. So yeah, which is not the best thing to do sometimes, huh? Sí, ese también se parece. Estás Pat Sim offline, just in case. Oh, thank you very much. Oh yeah, I got disconnected. Gracias, Lucho, no había cachado. Jakarta, Cargolux 705.
Cargolux 705, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sorry, we just got disconnected from the server. Now we're connected again. I don't know if you have our flight plan or you want me to resend it.
No problem, I still have your flight plan.
That's cool, thank you very much, sir. Okay, so he has our flight plan, so there's no need to do anything else. Gracias, Luchito, te pasaste, sos un amor. I have done. I probably like since I'm flying for this new company in the Middle East. Probably this is my most common destination. So I feel so relaxed when I come here. For me, it's like landing in Santiago or Tobalaba or something like that. Like it's like what can possibly go wrong when you go to Jakarta? Like I have done this flight like I don't know, maybe I don't know 50 times or something like that. Like so many times. I love the food though. Very nice food. They have something that is called nasi goyen, which is like a rice with a lot of spices and like pork and chicken. Oh my god, so good. Very good. Very, very good. Yeah. The people is super friendly. Super, extremely friendly. They are super nice. And beautiful girls as well. Yeah. Mom, you don't have to see this. Mamá, tú no veas esta parte. Tú tienes que salir del canal ahora porque yo voy a hablar de mujeres. No. Yeah. Sometimes my mom is watching me, which is kind of fun. Yeah. One day when she was like texting me and like, I was not answering to her, I was like, "What the hell were you doing that you are not answering to me?" I was like, "Mom, I make this streaming channel," and I started to explain to her like what was the situation, and I have a camera in front of me and everything. So if I grab my cell phone, it looks like a little bit unprofessional. So I don't want to look unprofessional in front of you guys when in real life I am a lot. So I was like, yeah, so that's why I was not answering and everything. So it's like, you have a channel? Like, you're famous? No, Mom, I'm not famous. The only person who watch me actually are my friends and maybe one or two people like who actually, those one are actually the ones who are interested in my content, but mostly are just my friends, you know, like. So she was starting to laugh and everything. She's like, okay, I'm just gonna watch you. Like, where is your channel? I was like, okay, here I am. Like, so I throw the link to her. After that, she's my #1 fan. Like all the time, she's like watching me and everything. She's super funny. Oh, I put the air conditioning a little bit like at 24 degrees, and now my back is sweating. I feel like I have like butter here. I'm just kidding. Okay, guys. So we are flying to Bunnik right now, and I'm gonna transition to the star here, so you can all see what I'm doing. And if I screw up with one of these altitudes, you will let me know. Okay? Be a good guy. Let me know. So we have Bunnik, and the first restriction is 270 at flight level 220. Again, I was talking about the VNAV page, right? Like, if I have problems with my life and I need to know if the restriction is somewhere in my FMC, where I should go and see. Well, we have a few places where actually we can see that restriction, but we were talking about the VNAV page, right? So let's go to VNAV page and let's see if this Bunnik maximum speed 270 knots and flight level 220 is there. Is there? Yes, it is there. You see that my active restriction, the restriction that I have in front of me, is always going to be in the VNAV page. Even it doesn't matter if I'm doing the climb, during the descent, is always going to be there. If I need to climb from the cruise altitude to another cruise altitude, it's going to be in the VNAV page. You have to find things in your VNAV page, okay? So here you have 270 flight level 220 at Bunnik. That's it. Which one is my actual speed? Well, it's 272, as you can see here. Yeah, but where I can make a change for that speed? Well, VNAV speed, VNAV page is your page, the page that you're gonna make a solution to all your problems. Okay, the restrictions 250 below 10,000 feet is here. Okay, let's wait for this one. Why, for example, the restriction everywhere in the world is 250 below 10,000 feet, right? For many reasons, okay? Birds, unstable approaches, you name it, okay? Why we have 240 instead of 250 below 10,000 feet in Boeing airplanes? Okay, nobody? Okay, cool. That is because Boeing wants to save 10 knots in case of wind change and wind changes and speed and direction. That's it, you know. So in order to be on the safe side, Boeing says, okay, I'm not gonna give you 250, I'm gonna give you 240. That's the only reason, okay. Again, let's say for example now we want to maintain the vertical speed, and actually we want to maintain our vertical profile, which is gonna be that vertical speed is right over there. To which point? To WIII, which is our first waypoint, okay? So we can change right now to vertical speed of 1,400 feet, let's say, and we are going to be able to reach WIII at flight level 220 or above with 270 knots. VNAV page tells you everything, okay? Right now, we are in VNAV page, the restriction is 270 in position WIII, so look what is going to happen when we approach to WIII. The speed is going to go to 270 knots. And we're going to transition to the next restriction, which is going to be Ramal 170 and maximum speed 270 knots as well. So now it's 270, approaching 1 mile from WIII. So actually it takes the lead, you know, to cross WIII at 270 knots without any intervention from the pilot. You don't have to do anything. You just need to sit and watch. Meanwhile, you drink your coffee. Meanwhile, you throw jokes to the captain because he's grumpy, and yeah, so on. Okay, so now the next restriction that we have during our descent is Ramal, and maximum speed is 270 knots again. So we have 270 here, and we have a speed. Flight level restriction of flight level 170. I'm sorry. Okay. Now the speed went to 190, which I don't want that. So I'm gonna put 270 for the meantime. I'm gonna execute this. So I'm gonna go idle VNAV speed, and the airplane is gonna start to now I'm high, but anyway, I'm gonna put idle. So we have in Ramal maximum speed 270, which are maintaining right now, and the altitude is going to be 170 or above, which actually we are maintaining as well. Okay, so everything looks perfect. And accordingly to this, with this change that I did on the speed, we are 1,200 feet higher, but it's okay.
Cargo log 705, contact Jakarta Director on 123.75, good day.
Jakarta Director 12375, cargo log 705, ciao. Director, good evening, cargo log 705, heavy, passing flight level 190, descending to flight level 150, WIII to hotel.
Cargo log 705, Jakarta Director, hello, landing 25 right, descend now. Altitude 9,000 feet, QNH 1011.
We expect the RLS 25 right, descend and maintain 9,000, QNH 1012, cargo log 705. Okay, so we descend now to 9,000 feet, and the QNH is 1012. Now they give us an altitude, so we can actually change from flight level to altitude. So I'm just gonna put 1012 on the altimeter. That is set and cross-check, and we could call the approach checklist. So we have altimeters 1012 set and cross-check. Approach checklist is completed. So now Ramal maximum speed 270 and flight level 170 or above, which is the one that we are maintaining. And then we're gonna go to Nocta, which is maximum speed is 240, and we need to cross at 11,000 feet sharp. So we are getting higher, as you can see. So in order to avoid that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go with we're clear to 9,000, but I'm gonna put 11,000 here, and I'm gonna go with flight level change, and I'm gonna set the speed to 240, which is the maximum speed that I can maintain here in Nocta. So I maintain all the restrictions. Okay, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to dive the airplane a little bit just to cross Nocta at the right altitude, which is 11,000 feet. Even if we are clear to descend to 9,000 feet, that doesn't mean that we don't have to. He didn't say cancel altitude restrictions. If he say cancel altitude restrictions, we can go direct to 9,000 feet, but that is not the case, right? So we continue on the arrival. So maximum is 240, 11,000 feet. So now I'm intervening the descent just to try to reach that 1,000 feet that I'm higher. Right now we are at 16 miles from Nocta. So Nocta is 11,000 feet. So at 10 miles from Nocta, I have to be at 14,000 feet. Why? Because you have to add 3,000 feet for every 10 miles away from the position. So in this case, Nocta is 11,000. 10 miles before Nocta, in that case at 10 miles, we had to add 3,000 feet on that thing. So we can maintain like a normal descent. So 11,000 plus 3 is 14,000. So we can know more or less if we are higher or we are low on the approach.
Runway vacated November 5, Qatar 206, and we request apron Juliet.
I will ask for the same thing. Yeah, good call. Okay, so at 10 miles, we, as I told you, we should be at 14,000 feet. So we are going to see that. Otherwise, I will have to use the speed brake.
All the way to the end, November 9, and you'll see Juliet stands.
November Papa 2, November 9 from apron Juliet, Qatar 206, bye-bye.
Okay, so 10,000, we are almost 1,300 feet above, so we're going to start to use the speed brake, so we start to increase our rate of descent. So this green arc is telling me that actually in position Nocta I'm going to be at 11,000 feet. Because it's touching Nocta, okay? So I'm going to reduce my range now. And in Nocta, maximum speed is 240. But before Nocta, it was 270. So I'm using that in my advantage. So I'm going to put 250 now. So I can dig the airplane a little bit more with a little bit of nose down. Actually, I can put 260.
Director Qatar 206, we don't have the apron Juliet, we're going to take the apron Delta.
Qatari 206, roger, in that case, November Papa 2, November Golf 7, apron Delta.
Okay, almost
Roger,
to 11,000, so we're going to reduce to 240.
Cadillac 705, descent to altitude 2,000 feet.
Down to 2,000 feet, Cargo 705. So 2,000 now, and Nocta 11,250. So we continue all the way to 2,000 feet now. And we have Rambo now at 7,000 feet sharp. So we are almost at 10,000 feet. So we're gonna go with the lights on, strobe light on, and seatbelts goes to on as well. So now we have the ILS 110.9 in the upper left side corner of the primary flight display. 247 is the final approach course as well. So everything starts to look good. So now we are almost in the profile. Rambo you need to cross at 7,000 feet, and then we go to pre-orc. Maximum speed 190 and 3,000 or below. I just removed the speed brake. There is some weather over there next to Halim, which is the other big airport that you have inside Jakarta. Sometimes we use that one as alternative, but I would prefer to go with Surabaya, so I have the possibility to cancel Surabaya and continue to Halim in case of I'm lacking of fuel. Okay, so Rambo is going to be 7,000 feet sharp, and then we're going to continue to Priork, maximum speed 190 knots. Okay, so we are going with flaps 1, speed check, flaps 1. Gonna go with the speed brake. Okay, great. There we go. And Priork maximum speed is gonna be 190. So I'm gonna put 3000 here. We're clear to 2000, but I am with flight level change, so I need to know where is gonna be my 3000 arc. The only way that I can see that as well, I go here to fixed page and I set 3000 here in the altitude, so I can visualize where those 3000 are gonna be achieved. So actually it's gonna be there in Priork. So I'm gonna put 2000 here. So now I can visualize my 3000 altitude. So I will start to reduce a little bit here. Now we'll go with flat 5, speed check, flat 5. Okay, so now I'm gonna start to reduce my speed to 190, which is the restriction here, and 3000 below position Priork. Priork. Okay, so now we have the ILS India Charlie Golf Romeo is identified, so we are good to go. We have the localizer indication of the left side and the glide slope indication is a little bit above us, so we're good. I'm gonna go with the speed, vertical speed. I'm gonna set 7,000 feet per minute down. So we are passing 3,000 feet here, position Prior 190. Now we continue to position RCAP, which is 2,000 feet. 1,000 to go. I'm gonna hit approach here as well, so I can have visualization of my localizer and my glide slope. It's kind of weird sometimes in Boeing. Give me a call. Director Cargo 705. Are we clear for the Alice 25 right?
Cargo 705, assume cleared Alice 25 right.
Clear for the Alice 25 right, Cargo 705. Okay, rail altimeter is alive. So now we are clear for the ILS, and we have a localizer and glide slope indication. The localizer is also identified, so we're gonna arm approach. So we have a localizer and glide slope arm. I'm just reducing my vertical speed so I can maintain a very shallow descent, constant descent all the way to my restriction in position RCAP at 2,000 feet. Otherwise, I will go with idle power and then, you know, it's better to also for the passengers as well. You have to think that you have passengers in your back, so it's like more soft, you know. You have to be gentle when you're flying, you know. Because otherwise you're gonna be, the airplane is gonna descend, and then here at 2,000, because you have already flap 5, you have a lot of drag, and you are leveling off at 2,000 feet, which the airplane needs a lot of power, you know, to move from the inertia. So it's like very uncomfortable. Especially there's some people who have very bad time, like in the back, you know, they don't like to fly. So you have to think of that person as well. Okay, so we have localizer capture. And with the glide slope alive, I'm gonna set the landing gear down in flaps 20. So we start to configure this airplane for the landing. Wind is practically calm here. We don't have
Cargo 705, surface winds are 240 degrees at 4 knots. QNH is 1011, 25 right, clear to land.
1011, clear to land runway 25 right, cargo 705. Okay, do we have a slightly change of the QNH 1011? It's a technical check right now. And we have glide slope alive, so we go with landing gear down. Flaps 20, and we speak brake is arm, and we open that checklist so we can have it right over there so we know that we don't miss anything. And we set flap 20 speed. Glide slope capture, and the miss approach altitude is going to be 6,000 feet, so we set those 6,000 feet here. And now we're gonna go with flaps 30. Speed check flaps 30, which is gonna be 156. And now we have landing gear down, flaps is 30 here, speed brake is on, landing checklist complete, checklist is complete. And we're clear to land 240 with 4 knots. So basically it's on the same line with 4 knots. It should be like an easy flight, but you never know. Sometimes when you have this kind of winds, I screwed up. I tend to screw up with the wind, so it's like this. It's like a glass of milk. Land 3 and roll out the flare arm. We're gonna fly a little bit manually, guys, okay? If I screwed up, you let me know. Autopilot off. Flight director. Autopilot off. And we go manual. 1,000 stable. We have approach lights in sight. Okay, yeah, 25 right, that's what we have. Puppies on site, 2 and 2, that's good. You tend to be like 3 whites in this airplane because it's too high, so your eye is not the same as the normal airplane. So It's quite common to have 3 whites on this airplane. Continue. So we are on the glide slope. The lights, don't forget about the lights. Sometimes they are. Speed brake up, and we go full reverse. $60 knots, manual braking. Carlos, en Boeing, ¿cómo cae la alarma de pitidos del LS? No sé cómo hacerlo, te muestro inmediato. And welcome to Jakarta, guys. So we're gonna take a left on November 4, which is this one, I believe. No, definitely it's not this one. Director cargo log 705 runway vacated, and we need any parking space on Romeo apron, maybe Romeo 53.
Cargo log 705, roger, that's not a problem. Right onto November Papa 2, left November Charlie 7, and then any of the Romeo stands on your right.
Okay, thank you very much. We're gonna take a ride on November Papa 2, November Charlie 7 to Romeo 53, cargo log 705. Thank you, gracias.
No worries.
Okay, we go to the right here. This is November Papa 2, and then we're gonna take November Charlie 7, which is DAC taxiway all the way into Romeo 53. So November Charlie Zulu, I don't know. Okay, so we go here, APU start. Taxi lights are off. We just leave the taxi, strobe light off. We go here, weather goes to off. Auto brakes goes to off. Flaps goes to up, and we set this one in transponder. That was a very fun 5 flight. La cagó, lo veía en Twitch por un lado y por otro, en el sim, viendo cómo venía y aterrizar, la cagó. Lo que tengo que ver ahora es cómo hacer que los aviones se vean con su libre y no pintura genérica. Ah, sí, mira, para eso hay un... Googlealo, es así. Se llama Fly. Está en Google, o sea, es gratis, es un software que te deja ver los aviones así. Por ejemplo, ese Qatar que está con los colores de Qatar, yo estoy con cargo lux, etcétera, etcétera. Se ven así bonitos, bonitos, bonitos. Gracias, Oliva, gracias, gracias. Voy llegando a Santiago y suena el pitido del ILS. Mira, acá, mira. Te vas acá. Y esto que está acá, si lo dejas abierto ahí, con esa luz encendida y en marker, se te va a escuchar. Si lo pones acá, se apaga. Fly, ok, ese, el fly. Okay, take us off. We're gonna clear that message. So we have the APU running, and we need to wait for 3 minutes for a cool off. 1 minute and a half already passed, so we're good to go. At the moment that we reach our gate, we can shut down those engines. Lucho,
Mandé.
tú estás a la izquierda, amigo, ¿cierto?
Sí, el Qatar Cathay.
Ah, dale, vale. I think I will just park here because the default scenario doesn't help me too much, to be honest. I'm just gonna go with the taxi light off. Parking brake is set, APU is running, so we switch all the power into the APU generators. So we release the generators from electricity. Logré callarlas, thank you, buenísimo, esa era la idea. So now we go here and we shut down these fuel control switches now that the APU has the control of the electricity. Seatbelts, they go to off. Hydraulics, they go to off. Fuel pumps, they go to off. And beacon, we just wait for less than 5% and we shut down that beacon. So we don't suck anybody inside the engine, which is no good. To make some minced beef. Flight directors, they go to off. Traffic goes off. And we set 2000, so we reset the squawk for the ATC and then we put standby. We're just going to put this one in above. I'm just going to close here as well, close the flight. So now we can do the shutdown checklist. Shutdown checklist, we have parking brake is set, shutdown checklist complete. Okay guys, so that was the flight of today. Singapore, Jakarta, amazing flight, nice ATC. We had Jakarta Center, we had a director as well, very easy approach, no inconvenience. Good weather condition as well. A little bit of foggy as usual here. It's a big city. It's a huge city actually. A lot of traffic, a little bit of pollution, of course, and that, of course, makes everything a little bit more gray. But nice people, amazing food, and definitely we're gonna go for those. Bitang is the local beer. Bitang. You have to try those ones. They're very good and very cheap as well. So. That's it for today, guys. We're just gonna leave the streaming for may say 1 or 2 days. We're gonna have some days off. Everybody's a little bit tired about the streaming, not because we are tired of being with you guys. They're just tired of we want to do all the stuff, of course, during the quarantine. And you wanted to know if even if you are streaming for 2 hours or even sometimes 4 hours, it cuts your day and a half. So we're gonna have maybe some 2 days off with the guys of Fly Sim Chile, just to relax a little bit, and then we're gonna come back most probably on Monday. Okay, so anyway, you can check on my channel the different timings and dates of the next streaming, and hopefully with a very nice flight. Actually, we're gonna be departing from here from Jakarta, and we're gonna go to Bali, amazing destination. We have a scenario there. It's not gonna be default. And yeah, and the approach is really beautiful. You come into the ocean, you're gonna love it, guys. It's really cool place to go. So we're gonna be streaming more or less, I think, on Monday, to be honest with you guys. Maybe 2 days of days off during the weekend, and then we're gonna come back on Monday with a full of energy to stream for you guys, Jakarta and to Bali. Thank you very much for the people who are watching me. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you very much for your questions as well. and yeah, encourage me, of course, to continue with this project. Thank you very much, of course, for the team of FlySim Chile as well, and if you need to reference some information about the 320 or something like that, you can go to the other guys who are streaming those ones, Harold Hoover, Lito's channel in Twitch, or Nico Matus as well, who is streaming 320 as well. Two very notable guys who knows a lot about the airplane. So please go and follow those guys as well. And yeah, that's it, guys. Go and visit the page of FlySim Chile. They have cool shirts. They have cool hats, keychains for your keys, and everything that you find to make your flights more fun. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for viewing me, and I'll see you next time. Okay. Now I'm gonna go in Spanish. Bueno, amigos, ese fue el vuelo del día de hoy. Hicimos Singapur, Yakarta, vuelo bastante entretenido, 1 hora con 15 minutos fue más o menos aproximadamente. Buena meteorología, gracias, menos mal, hubo acá en Yakarta. Generalmente acá hay muy mala meteorología, pero hoy día llegamos con buenas condiciones, viento calma prácticamente, y un poco obviamente de bruma asociada más que nada a smog, porque es una ciudad bastante grande, hay mucho tráfico, y esto es la condición normal que podríamos tener un día normal acá en Yakarta. De todas formas, las personas son muy simpáticas acá, y hay cerveza muy barata. La cerveza de acá, la local, se llama Vitang. Tienen que ir a probarla, y con $1 pueden comprar como 5. Así que no, nunca tanto, pero sí, es muy barata. Así que la gente es muy amigable, la comida es muy rico. Hay que probar nasi goyen si están acá, así que los invito obviamente a ver esta parte del mundo, obviamente virtualmente. Lo más probable es que nos demos un tiempo libre. Yo creo que 1 o 2 días, lo más probable es que sean 2, y volvamos con streaming el día lunes. Estamos todos un poco cansados, no cansados de estar con ustedes, amigos, no nos malentiendan, pero también el hecho de streamear de repente entre 2 hasta 4 horas hace que nos parta el día por la mitad, igual de cierta forma, y todos queremos hacer otras cosas obviamente en estos días de cuarentena, leer un libro, qué sé yo, lo que sea. Entonces, para tratar de que no sea como tampoco un sacrificio para uno, vamos a darnos 2 días de descanso para volver con mucha energía el día lunes con un nuevo video de streaming, saliendo acá desde Yakarta en esta continuación de nuestro vuelo alrededor del mundo con los amigos de FlySim Chile hacia Bali. El vuelo bastante entretenido, definitivamente ahí vamos a tener escenario. El aeropuerto es precioso, la aproximación es por arriba del mar, les va a encantar, así que por favor síganos el día lunes. De todas formas, el último horario y la fecha va a estar aquí descrita en mi canal en un par de horas más. Así que eso, lo agradezco mucho las visitas. Vayan a la página de FlySim Chile, donde hay poleras, jockeys y llaveros para verse más cool cuando hacen sus vuelos virtuales. Les dejo un abrazo grande, que estén todos muy bien, y nos estamos viendo en 2 días más. Que estén bien y que lo pasen bien. Cuídense, por favor, cuiden a su familia, cuídense a los más viejitos, y que estén muy bien. Hasta luego.